Let's get this straight now.
They control the money, the media, and the minds of the masses.
I never fucked anybody over in my life. Didn't have it coming with me. All I have in this world is my thoughts and my word, and I don't break them for no one. You understand?
It's a proven fact that these forged documents existed and were being circulated amongst right-wing newspapers in Baghdad and around the world in the immediate aftermath.
But wait! There's more!
Like I said,
a lot of names, okay? Tom Hanks, Stephen King, Robert De Niro, Kevin Spacey, Stephen Colbert, Adam Schiff, Meryl Streep, Obama, John Podesta, Dan Schneider, Dan Harmon.
I don't care if, what they do to me. I don't care. This is just an issue that I feel so strongly about. I'm literally willing to die over it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes until this is gone. And I put in an anonymous tip to I think it was DHS. I said I have information of a trafficking ring. I gave them Seth and Claire and told them some details. Here's the thing that people need to understand, okay? Organizations are corrupt. LAPD, FBI, Hollywood pedophilia is not like a conspiracy theory. By this, it's a well-documented fact. It happens a lot, but there are a lot of powerful people that have a lot of sway, and they can kill investigations. The LA Sheriff's Badge has a known FBI pedo symbol on the badge. I have been researching this stuff since 9/11. Because when 9/11 happened, I was like, there's no way that the official story, there's no way. So people have been trained to trust the ones in power. A lot of people voted for Hillary Clinton, and you don't need a conspiracy theory or anything to know that Hillary Clinton is, a rotten individual. There's a lot of other people that are involved with this. There are people that 9/11 was a catalyst for a lot of people because they saw the depths that the ruling class would go to propagate their control. What's the deal with, they say that Jews are the chosen people. I think as human beings, we're all the chosen people. And they agree with me. I feel like that ideology is the chosen people meme needs to go because, we're all human beings. I understand people wanting to be with their own kind, and that's great. But if you dehumanize others because of that, I don't think that's cool. It's common knowledge at this point. I'm in Hollywood. Everyone talks. Look at Kevin Spacey. Everyone knew about Spacey for years and years and years and years and years and years. And no one said anything. Media never covered it. Why I feel so blasé about just calling out Spielberg. It's because they don't want to fight it. They don't want to take it to court.
33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive
to COVID-19.
Today we have 33 cases.
There were 33 new cases.
The state of Minnesota today reported 33 new COVID-19 related deaths.
There are 33 confirmed cases in Arkansas.
That's the largest single-day increase so far, raising the total to 33.
33.
There were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
33.
There was 33 everywhere. I think that was Red Team Go. I think 33 is like Red Team Go. Everybody goes, okay, let's do it. It's time.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, there's like literally 1,033 and 33 new cases. 33 people died in Hong Kong.
The number 33, we all know what that represents. Everywhere, every single day, it was like, well, 12 more cases, which now brings the state to 33.
Yes.
We had 33 cases today.
Yes.
We had 11 cases, which now it's 33. 33 more people. I'm going, oh my God, how dumb you have to see to not understand this is going on. Yeah, that was green light go. We're off to the races.
Yeah.
You've been subject to propaganda and lies by people who are very well trained in how they do that. But if you find one thing your government has said which is clearly not true, I ask you this: why would you believe anything else they've told you?
We have released over 33,000 Epstein documents.
33,000 emails that you deleted. 33 confirmed positive tests.
Today we have 33 cases.
33 to be precise.
There are now 33 cases.
For 33 hours.
The code's been written. It's cold now.
Game.
Boom! I see signs in the skyline, patterns align, hidden degrees, symbols divine, thrones in the dark where the plans intertwine, scriptures encrypted, treaty design, 3-3 stamped on the pillars of power. Clock hit midnight, we enter the hour. Snow on the ground, but the world feel colder. Fire in the sky, revelations get bolder. Prophets on corners, they mumbling doom. News play the lies, I can smell the perfume. I don't trust idols, I don't worship a crown. They smile up top while they burn it all down. 33, code of the key. World on free, still watching me. Cold winds blow, sky turn red. They said it's the end, I ain't scared of what's said. 33, decode the lie. Come don't die, it multiply. Ice in my veins, flames in my head. It's the world gon' end and we rise instead. Echoes in temples, whispers in halls. Leaders act tough but they scared of the fall. They sign blank checks with invisible ink. Every headline's another deceitful link. Gold turn dust and the dust turn cold. People get lost on the day to roll. Ain't no savior in a tailored suit. The truth in a mic in a steel-toe boot. Snow melt fast, rivers of glass. Skyscrapers crack as the heavens collapse. We don't panic, we move precise. The end of the world, just a glitch in the device. Cold front, system lock. Frequency spike, data shock. Signaling code, truth unlock. 33, cycle stop. 33, code of the key. World on free, still watching me. Cold winds blow.
We all heard the tragic news about Oliver Tree, another young artist gone so soon, over the last few days. I have been seeing a lot of his older posts from before any of this happened, and one of them completely caught me off guard. When I saw this skit right here, my jaw dropped. Oliver Tree had a recurring skit depicting a man wearing a pizza costume. What he said during these skits is even more bizarre. He did these skits multiple times, with the last one being from not that long back. Today, we're gonna go through these strange videos in order to shine a spotlight on the message he was trying to spread with these skits. Recently, we looked at Oliver Tree's video where he detailed the disagreement he was having with his record label. We discussed how Oliver was one of many artists who ended up speaking out against their management after becoming massive. Just yesterday, I found another clip where Oliver was discussing this issue once more. He made it clear that he was not on good terms with his record label, and he wanted to ensure we understood that.
I left my record label, let's talk about it. After making tens of millions of dollars over 8 years for Atlantic Records, they no longer want to support my art because I'm not making songs for TikTok. And after dedicating my entire life to making art, I never got into this to make TikTok songs. I know the effects of TikTok. I've had multiple songs that connected there. But that's not why I got into making art. Over the last 2.5 years, I traveled 82 countries and recorded this album on all 7 continents. These are the types of projects that charge me as an artist. This is why I got into it in the first place. And just because I'm not making songs for TikTok means that the label doesn't want to support the vision. Well, guess what? I don't give a shit. And after you guys have joined together in tens of thousands and sent messages to the label, we have officially reached a negotiation over the past course of a week. My team has got the label to agree to release Love You Madly, Hate You Badly on my personal imprint, Alien Boy Records. You guys, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This music is finally going to see
This is crucial because it establishes that Oliver Tree was using his social media to get his thoughts across to his fans and supporters about important moments in his life or things that bothered him. When he faced problems with his label, he went straight to his socials to address it. This is where he sends his message to the world, and this is what makes his video so much more interesting. If we already know he was using his account to communicate directly with his fans, then these clips might also be doing that. Now, I want to tell you why I decided to cover Oliver Tree, because it's an interesting story. The other day, I was in the middle of working on the video I just dropped on 50 Cent when my wife told me the news about what happened to Oliver Tree. I honestly did not believe her. I told her I had seen an Instagram video of him just a short time before. She showed me the article, I looked it up, and saw the headlines, and confirmed it was true. At that moment, I went back to finishing my 50 Cent project. Later that day, I posted a reel on Instagram, and out of nowhere, this video of Oliver Tree popped up. When I heard what he said, I couldn't believe it. I showed my wife and she said that I had to cover it. It almost felt like a sign. This is also how I stumbled across these videos randomly while scrolling through social media. When I saw these clips, I knew I had to share them because it seemed like he wanted everyone to know this. While the videos seem a little hazy and weird, they appear to tell us something Oliver Tree wanted us to be aware of. All of these clips showed Oliver and this woman essentially talking about someone they called Mr. Pizza.
Identificar a Mr. Pizza. Si un adulto te dice, esto es nuestro secreto, no le digas a tus padres, eres una virga particular.
Eso suena a Mr. Pizza.
O si Mr. Pizza te ofrece dulces, tarjetas de Roblox, o si un adulto te invita a su casa, nunca estés a solas con Mr. Pizza.
Now, as I said, this footage is extremely weird. It almost feels like a dream sequence. He made another post featuring the same strange imagery. This one ended really eerie.
Hey, little girl.
Oh no. Policía.
Oh no, amigo.
Mr. Pizza le está dando dulces a mi amiga Katie.
Pizza? What kind of pizza?
¿Qué?
Pineapple? Margarita?
No.
Broccoli jalapeno popper anchovy deluxe?
Eso existe.
Oh yeah, you gotta try it. Pepperoni?
Sí.
So what kind of pizza? Sí. Mr. Pizza, you're under arrest for giving candy to kids. Come on, kid. You're a witness.
But the most bizarre of them all has to be this video. Here, he introduced the character Judge Pizza. Pay attention to this one.
Oh, he's not going to jail. Judge Pizza's never put one of his own behind bars. What? Oh no.
All of these videos are so strange and are clearly meant to make some sort of statement. It seems that Oliver Tree was using this character as some sort of reference for something. He repeatedly made it clear that people needed to avoid this character. It is very interesting how he pointed out that he is always able to get away with it in these skits because of his connections. I wonder if he was talking about someone specific with this, or if this has any other deeper meaning. The more I look into Oliver Tree, the more things I find. The whole situation of his label was already interesting enough, but seeing this caught me completely off guard. You normally do not see an artist at this level making strange, almost cryptic videos like this. As I said, he posted this directly onto his own social media account. This was not a secret post that was going around the internet. He used his official account with millions of followers to broadcast this message. It obviously was important for him that people know about this character he kept referring to. What do you think Oliver Tree was trying to say with this strange post? I have an idea what he meant by these, but I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think this character represents, and what do you think he is implying by this? Was it just some strange random video, or was Oliver out here sending important messages through his massive account? What is notable is that the woman he did those videos with also has a massive following. She seems to be a Latin artist or something along those lines. She recently reposted the skit she made of him and stated it was in memory of him.
Oh look, there's a new kid. You're not a kid, you're Mr. Pizza. Never tell a stranger on the internet where you live. Never send pictures to a stranger on the internet.
You're not a kid, you're Mr. Pizza. You're not a kid, you're Mr. Pizza. You're not a kid, you're Mr. Pizza. You're not a kid, you're Mr. Pizza.
I found that very compelling. Instead of posting a regular tribute or a normal picture of him, she specifically posted this video about her, Oliver Tree, and this Mr. Pizza character. It is almost like she wanted to make sure people knew he was talking about this. She was shining a spotlight on this exact message, and that is important to know. I want to figure out exactly what or who he was talking about through these clips, and hopefully, I am able to fully crack what he was trying to say. Clearly, there is something important being communicated through all of these skits. Out of respect for him, we should figure out exactly what it was and make sure to amplify that message. That was the whole point of my last video on him. I felt a need to amplify what he said about his label, especially considering so many other artists fight the same battle. This is a struggle I have documented on this channel for years, and Oliver Tree was another example of an artist fed up with the industry. However, it also seems he was fed up with something else he was seeing take place, and these videos were likely hinting at that. Like I said, I'm gonna keep looking into this, and I will update you with what I find.
Now, today, we're going to talk about artist Oliver Tree. Now, we heard 2 days ago that Oliver Tree died in a helicopter crash. One of 6 people, right? Number 6. 6 people supposedly died as well in this helicopter crash. Now, a few months prior, Oliver Tree took to his social media accounts to talk about this situation that he was going through with his record label, Atlantic. Now, we're going to see what he's saying. We're going to see what he was saying.
I just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Lucky Madly Hated Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare. I have no marketing budgets for music videos, no digital ad spend. Nobody really cares in the building, it seems like. I made a lot of money for Atlantic Records, and they don't seem to remember that. I got no support. They forgot to ingest multiple songs into the system, which means the songs didn't come out. I had a Valentine's Day breakout song that didn't even get released because someone forgot to put it in. I don't really understand how that's possible. I made them tens of millions of dollars, but they don't remember that. So, music is owned by them. The remainder of the music will not be coming out. I will always continue to make music. Thank you for everyone who supported me. I can't wait to release more music at some point at a later time, but for now, there's nothing on the horizon. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. Thank you. I just got word that...
Right, so Oliver Tree and Atlantic Records were at odds, right? Atlantic didn't want to push his music. It seemed as if they want to go a different direction. And he's not one of those artists. So he getting left behind. It's time to write you off the script. It's time to write you off the world stage. It's time to dispose of you, right? It's time to put you on the shelf. And then you heard him say that all the music was owned by them. So now they even make more money off of his songs now due to when we hear about artists that pass away or something happened to them, their streams go up because people want to reminisce, look back. So now people are going back listening to his music, and it's only supporting the record label, right? That orchestrated this move. Well, come on, man. Because we got to dive a little deeper on this situation, man. Because Oliver Tree was killed in a helicopter crash on June 14th, which was Donald Trump's 80th birthday. So now we're going to get into what's behind the curtain because, like I said, man, this is the world stage. So all the events that happen in mainstream media that we see is all intertwined, right? So a lot of things happen on Donald Trump's birthday. The Hurricanes also won the Stanley Cup on Donald Trump's birthday as well. Once again, the Hurricanes. So here they are, foreshadowing things to you. And this is why they use sports. And this is why they rig sports in their favor to script out upcoming world events. And then they foreshadow it to you in the sports. And then we just had the Knicks win the NBA Finals as well when Donald Trump was born in New York. And then you see how he went to Game 3. You see how the only game that he showed up to, the Knicks lost, and that was Game 3, right? But come on, man. Right, so Oliver Tree was killed in a helicopter crash on Donald Trump's 80th birthday. Now, Oliver Tree was born on the 180th day of the year. President Trump equals 180 in the English language backwards. Now, what you're looking at is gematria, the practice of turning letters into their numerical value. Now, as you can see right here, it says reverse. So this is the English language backwards. So the word president, right, as you can see right there, it equals 133. Trump equals 47. And we gonna tap in on that. Don't even trip on that. So add that up and we get 180. Just like how Oliver Tree was born on the 180th day of the year, dead on President Trump's birthday, right? But come on. Right, because even if we take this numerology and add it up, his birthday, June 29th in the year 93, that equates to 128-day numerology. President Donald John Trump equals 128. Once again, this helicopter crash takes place on Donald Trump's birthday. Donald Trump equals 159, just like helicopter. The place where this helicopter crash took place at, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, equals 115. Healing equals 115 as well. But also, right, if we remember, because this right here is a tribute, as we just discussed, because this happened on Trump's birthday, right? Now, if we look at this number 115, Donald Trump was elected on 11/5. In other words, 115. So he was elected as the president when President Donald John Trump equals 115. So this is a tribute, man. This is a tribute to the Society of Jesus, right? Because the Society of Jesus equals 115 as well. This is the Jesuits, the Jesuit order, the Society of Jesus. So that's what these rituals are for, the Society of Jesus. And these people that you see are the Jesus heads. They play the Jesus archetypes. So that's why they are the sacrificial lambs in these scripts. They are positioned to be looked at as a martyr amongst society, right? So that's why they are the ones that get sacrificed to play the role of Jesus. But come on, right? Kobe B. Bryant equals 115 as well, right? So now we throw Kobe in. Now Kobe comes in the mix, right? Because Kobe was also in the helicopter crash, just like how Oliver Tree was removed in a helicopter crash. Right? Because even if you go over to Oliver Tree's Instagram, he has 126 posts that he left behind. 126 posts when the same day of Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash was January 26th. In other words, 126. Which is once again a tribute to the Jesuit order. The Jesuit order equals 1206 in the reverse Sumerian cipher, which is the English language multiplied by the number 6, because the Sumerians believed that the number 6 was a perfect number. So even the location of this helicopter crash, Rio de Janeiro, where they have this giant Jesus statue, right? That's the place where they have the giant Jesus statue. And that's where Oliver Tree's helicopter crash was. In Rio de Janeiro, which equals 1206, just like the Jesuit order. 1206, 126. And that's why this helicopter crash was on Sunday. This is sun worship. That's why it happened on the day of the sun. And the day of the sun, aka Jesus. Right? Looking at Oliver Tree's birthday numerology, right? June 29th, 1993. He was born on 147-day numerology. When his real name, if you see his real name, is actually Oliver Tree Nickel. So taking his first and his last name, Oliver Nickel, we get 147, just like the Jesuit order. So that is his role, right, on the world stage, is to be a sacrifice to the Jesuit order. And that's why the helicopter crashed on Sunday. This is why they told you that the crash happened on a Sunday. Right? A tribute to the Society of Jesus, 147. And that's why it happened. Freemason equals 147 as well, a tribute to the Masons. The Jesuits control the Masons. 147. This is why the crash happened on the 47th president's birthday. When there are, if you look at the Masonic compass, it is set at 47 degrees. And this is why Trump is your 47th president of the United States, when the word Trump equals 47. Republican, president, government, White House, and Democrat all equal 47. We know that Donald Trump isn't a Democrat, but it's the point that Democrat and Republican both equal 47, both give you tributes to the Masons. Regardless, two sides of the same coin. So it's all masonry, man. It's all a Jesuit ritual, a Jesuit play that we have on our hands. Continuing on, right? Once again, this is why it happened on Sunday. When Sunday equals 33, masonry equals 33. Sun, it's the day of the sun. It's Sun's day. Jesus' day. Jesus died at 33. So yes, man, this is a Jesuit ritual. This is why Kobe, the day of Kobe's helicopter crash, January 26, 2020, was also Sunday. Kobe wore the number 33 in high school at Lower Merion. Sunday equals 33. Kobe equals 33. So yes, all these people on the world stage that you see, they are paying homage. These rituals are paying homage to the Masons and the Jesuits. I don't think these people are dead for real. I think these are Masonic plays that we're seeing. And that's why they're all connected numerically, strategically. These people are removed strategically from the world stage. First they come out and tell you something, and then something happens to them. Kobe was going at it with the pharmaceutical companies. Then he get removed. Oliver Tree going at it with his record label. Then he get removed. The same way, helicopter crash on a Sunday. Come on, man. 333 weeks apart. Kobe's helicopter crash and Oliver Tree's helicopter crash are 333 weeks apart. Exactly. Come on, man. It's a Masonic ritual. Right? Even taking Oliver Tree's birthday. Right? His birthday was 15 days after his death in question. And also Donald Trump's birthday. So Donald Trump's birthday and Oliver Tree's birthday, we get 15 days apart. 15 days is 2 weeks and 1 day. Just like Kobe. Equals 15 in reduction and 21 in reverse reduction. Reducing those numbers, those letters that add up to a double digit, you just simplify it to a single digit. Because of Pythagoras. The reduction cipher is also known as the Pythagorean cipher. Due to Pythagoras, right, his theory was that the only true numbers were 1 through 9. No zeros, no double digits. So this is why this is often called the purest cipher as well. Because these numbers break down to the purest form until you can't break them down anymore. And this is what you get. Continuing on with the Kobe connection, right? With Oliver Tree and Kobe being removed due to a helicopter crash. Oliver equals 24 in Chaldean. His first and last name, Oliver Nickel, equals 204. Zeros have no value. We got the number 24, just like the number Kobe wore. Right? On his way out. On his way out. That's the number he wore when he retired. Number 24. When he walked off that court for the last time. Right? Trump. Because Oliver Tree died on Trump's birthday. Trump equals 24 in Chaldean, just like Oliver equals 24 in Chaldean. Right? Trump was elected president in the year 24. So you see how they're all connected, right? Right? Oliver equals 81. President Trump equals 81. So what if they remove President Trump in a helicopter crash as well at the age of 81? That's my theory. That's my theory. Is that President Trump, they're going to remove President Trump from the world stage as well from a helicopter crash at the age of 81. Kobe Bean Bryant equals 81. Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in his 666 game wearing the number 8. Number 8 equals 81. And this is also a tribute to the Mark of the Beast. Mark of the Beast equals 81. So these are satanic Masonic rituals that you're seeing. Right? Mark of the Beast. And last but not least, Mark of the Beast also equals 126, which was the day of Kobe's helicopter crash, January 26th. And once again, the number of posts that Oliver Tree left behind, 126. So with that being said, man, I can conclude this video, right? And say that this is a Jesuit ritual, a Masonic ritual, a satanic ritual, right? I don't think these people are dead. I think they're just removed from the world stage, right, to harvest energy, right? And that's what I'm going to conclude. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Appreciate y'all for all the love. Appreciate y'all for all the support.
Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
The dramatic and deadly descent captured on security camera. This footage, according to Brazilian first responders, showing the harrowing moments one chopper plummeted to the ground after colliding with another helicopter over Rio de Janeiro. Flames and plumes of black smoke pouring into the sky. There was a huge boom, this woman says. This man says he saw one chopper on fire and a man jumping out of another. The Rio Fire Department reporting 6 people found dead. American singer and comedian Oliver Tree among the list of passengers, according to police, though they have not been able to identify any of the bodies yet. Tree was in Rio as part of his solo world tour. The artist was known for his eccentric style and absurdist internet humor, with almost 20 million followers on TikTok's biggest hit on the platform. 2021's Life Goes On, which has been used in more than 3 million videos. Tonight, an outpouring of tributes for the singer across social media from friends and fellow artists. Tonight, multiple Brazilian authorities, including the Civil Aviation Agency, continue their investigation into the crash. Meanwhile, Tree, in a recent interview, said that in the event of his death, he wanted to donate as well to struggling artists through his foundation.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Many of you have asked me to cover the death of a singer by the name of Oliver Tree. Now, when most of you ask me to cover things, sometimes I do my best, especially when I have the time to make content, which of course is no longer because this channel has been demonetized, and of course the lack of Patreon support and the lack of website support has given me less time to make content. But when somebody usually dies, of course, most of the people subscribed to my channel immediately think of a ritual sacrifice because of the suspicious circumstances that surround a lot of these quote-unquote celebrity deaths. Now, when I was asked to cover this, my first response is, who in the world is Oliver Tree? And then when I took a look at Oliver Tree, I immediately thought it was Weird Al Yankovic, but Oliver Tree is supposedly a musician who had a pretty big following online. Now, I wouldn't do this video for the sake of doing this video if, of course, I didn't come across some things that were super suspicious and a lot of things that tie back in to the stuff that I cover on this channel. Of course, these things that you'll see in this video will remind you once again that to be in the club, you've got to be a member of the club, and if you're going to be sacrificed, usually you are a member of the club. And we know that a lot of these people fake their own deaths and exit the stage. That's something that we all know for fact. We know people like Charlie Kirk exited the stage. These are characters on a world stage. But when you look at somebody like Oliver Tree, the majority of you, just like me, likely have no idea who this guy is. So it's hard to say that the character exited the world stage when there's no real purpose of the character exiting the world stage. When somebody like Charlie Kirk exits the world stage, you see what comes of it. You see the left-right divide and how much more amplified it gets when, of course, they give you narratives of a liberal shooter targeting somebody over free speech who didn't do anything wrong, supposedly, other than give his opinions. But the majority of these people that we see on the world stage, of course, are actors. They're characters. They play into the psychosis that we live in, the American experiment. They are the ones responsible for molding your thought process, for pushing stereotypes, and most of the things that we see where people dress a certain way, act a certain way, all based on whoever they feel drawn to on this world stage. Right? We look at movies like The Breakfast Club, where even back then, which of course has been going on for a long time since television has been shoved down society's throats, but movies like The Breakfast Club, where you have the jock, and you have the weird girl, and you have the pretty girl, and you have the bad boy, and you have the nerd. These are all stereotypes that they've created where they want to fit you into a formula, and that's what the celebrities serve a major purpose in doing. So, that being said, Oliver Tree was somewhat apparently of a celebrity based on what we see from his followers, and over 7 million Instagram followers. Now, I'd never heard of him, but the story as you hear is that he died in a helicopter crash, which immediately, number one, we think of Kobe Bryant. If you didn't see my videos on Kobe Bryant, the predictive programming with the helicopter crash, and all the other things involving Kobe Bryant, of course, the all-seeing eye symbolism as well. You can watch those videos on my website, callfornuprising.com. But those are the similarities we start with, right? Helicopter, death via helicopter, and of course, over the years, we've seen death via supposed suicide. People like Robin Williams or Chester Bennington, where we're supposed to believe that a lot of these guys who are living normal lives just off themselves. If you know how this whole thing works, when you're asked to do things, when you're inside of this club and you do not do the things that you're asked to do, this is when ritual sacrifice normally occurs. It's like paying your fees. They'll ask you to do something which would usually be to commit a ritual sacrifice. And if you do not do these things, of course, you then get on the wrong side of the list, so to speak, where you are then likely to be ritually sacrificed by one of your own. So let's take a look at Oliver Tree and who he actually is. He's a singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, and internet personality from Santa Cruz, California. Again, he had over 7 million Instagram followers. He was a part of Atlantic Records, where he made albums, of course, music albums, Atlantic Records, currently owned by Warner Music Group, and of course, the majority shareholder is Len Blavatnik, might as well be Blavatsky, a billionaire businessman of Ukrainian Jewish ethnicity. Why is that important? Well, of course, it's important because, well, I mean, who are the ones responsible for really committing satanic ritual sacrifices, right? Because if you read the books like the Talmud and the Zohar, you'll find out that a certain group of people who are completely protected and are the victims in the eyes of the majority of society are the ones, in fact, who practice ritual sacrifice to this day. They were the same ones who were offering up their children to Baal in the Old Testament. So when we look at Oliver Tree, what we're going to look at real fast here, or as fast as I can possibly go, is Oliver Tree, again, and signs and symbols that rule the world, not words nor laws, what Confucius once said, because they reveal themselves through signs and symbols. Now, in videos, we've seen Oliver Tree doing lots of one-eye symbolism with his glasses. This is usually his calling card when it comes to showing you that he's in the club. He'll tilt his glasses over one eye and have the other eye exposed. A lot of these guys have different ways of doing the all-seeing eye symbolism. Okay, you have the obvious ones that just hold it up, a hand over their eye, or do the 666 over their eye where it's clear as day. And then we'll see people who try to get quirky with it when they put things like this, or do things like this, I should say, with their glasses over their eyes. I talk about the supermodels on magazine covers who will put their hair over their eyes, or a lot of women in Hollywood who you would think aren't in the club, that really are in the club, that do magazine photo shoots and then conveniently have hair covering one of their eyes. I've covered this many times over the year. We've seen Oliver Tree here. He's doing the devil horn signs. We've seen him doing videos, and on some of his album covers on, of course, the black and white floor, the Masonic imagery, and here again doing the all-seeing eye symbolism with his glasses. These are separate pictures from the one you just saw. Here he is again doing it, sitting in a chair next to guns on the wall. You can see it clear as day that he's doing the all-seeing eye symbolism. And this is where we start to get into what I really want to cover and why I'm doing this video, because this isn't to get views. Nobody knows who Oliver Tree is. I'm baby on. Even attempting to get views. I've been stuck at 548,000 subscribers on this channel since this channel blew up, and it's not because people don't want this content. This channel's obviously been buried. When you're not in the YouTube partner program, you don't get new subs, which I've talked about over the years, which is why I built out over 90 different channels, which have all been, for the most part, deleted. There's maybe 1 or 2 surviving channels, but the things we're going to talk about here are the things that I wanted to cover. I'm not doing this specifically to talk about some guy who perished supposedly in a plane crash, or a helicopter crash. We don't know for sure if he's dead or not, or the character's dead, but we need to look at some of these things because there's a lot of references to Pizzagate. There's a lot of references to child sacrifice. So we start here, right? The obvious. The pyramid inside of the circle, that is behind him, right? We all know the pyramid, that's the capstone. It's very obvious. Again, Illuminati symbolism we see on the back again of the dollar bill, which mentions right on there, Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. It literally says New World Order on the back of the dollar bill, your currency. And of course, we have the circle, which represents eternity, the circle that we see obviously in witchcraft. Most movies you've seen where witchcraft is occurring, you'll notice that there's a gigantic circle drawn out on the floor with a pentagram normally inside of it, where they all sit on the outside of this circle and invoke deities and spirits. So we have that circle, I call it the ritual circle, as well as the pyramid inside of it. And then notice what's in his hand, the red balloons. It couldn't be more obvious, right? He didn't just say, I want to sit here, I want fire behind me, a pyramid behind me, with a circle behind me, and then I want to be holding on to red balloons. Is he paying homage to the movie It? Because of course the first thing most people think of when they see red balloons is It the Clown, but most people don't realize the reference to the red balloon and what they're actually trying to tell you, right? So It, obviously we always see carrying around a red balloon. What is It always going after in those horror films? And in the book by Stephen King, he's going after children, trying to kill and sacrifice children. I talked about this recently in my video about Dick Van Dyke and how Dick Van Dyke living to be 100, right? And the coding behind the red balloons and that red liquid sauce that they all love to drink that you think is folklore that goes back to vampires, but you don't realize that the origin of vampires actually goes back to what they call the blood libel, when a certain group of people were caught and involved in ritual sacrifice of children, as I mentioned earlier, that goes back to Baal, and happen to be drinking that red liquid sauce, and they still crave that red liquid sauce, which of course, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, it's the red liquid that's inside of your body, just not yours, that of a little child. We've seen this red balloon symbolism with the daughter of, or son of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, where they put her or him on a magazine cover holding the red balloon. You'll see it in films, horror films, or many films that depict children going missing or being abducted. The red balloon will always surface. And of course, again, this goes back to It. For those of you that don't know, the story with It, the clown, which again, Stephen King, who writes all of this predictive programming because he's in the occult, not because he's a great writer. All of his books have predictive programming going into movies like Maximum Overdrive. He wasn't writing a story about cars coming to life and running people over. He was obviously foreshadowing the future of autonomous vehicles, which nobody knew about or couldn't even fathom the possibility of in the 1980s. I mean, we can go through Stephen King over and over and over again with The Stand and other movies that obviously involve massive pandemics, or just we could stick with It, which again, obviously the most notable thing everyone remembers from It is the clown going after children and carrying around those red balloons. But what most people don't realize is that the book actually ends with all of the children in the story. In order to get rid of It the Clown, they all get involved in a gigantic orgy together. Yes, young little children, and they remove that, of course, from the movie because they don't want you to be, catching on too much in this world to what and who these people actually are. So the red balloon represents ritual sacrifice, and of course, that red liquid that is in all of our bodies, although I'd say not all of us, because some of these people, as we know, aren't even human. It's likely they actually have black goo inside of their bodies. They even recently, of course, talked about Jeffrey Epstein, which I've covered, which again, you wouldn't know who Jeffrey Epstein was unless the government wanted you to know who he was. It was a creation of the government to give you all of this stuff with Epstein. It doesn't mean he wasn't a real person involved in pedophilia. If you actually study Epstein or watch the videos I've done, the main thing that he and all of these people from Silicon Valley and Donald Trump are involved in is the eugenics projects, okay? The eugenics project, breeding a hybrid race of human beings, doing this, of course, through technology and, of course, satanic ritual abuse. But they even gave you this Epstein 50th birthday book where they show him giving little balloons and candy to young children. Of course, all this stuff with Epstein was created as a massive distraction. Not saying that these people aren't pedophiles. We all know that they are. But they gave you a list. They gave you a character who exited the world stage to get you to stare at it day in and day out. And it took attention away from what? All that stuff that was going on at that pizza parlor. And for people out there that say that everything happened at Comet Ping Pong was a psyop, you are completely wrong. It was not fed to us by the government. It was discovered via many different things. I know it was mentioned in WikiLeaks, which made people very suspicious, but all you had to do was go on James Olifantis, the owner of the Ping Pong Place's Instagram account. You could see pictures from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, however long Instagram's been around, posting pictures of children with money near them, with their clothes off, with pizza slices on their crotch, etc. And that's where Pizzagate was formed, and people like me obviously blew up during that time period because we were breaking down, I specifically was breaking down all of the connections with all of the stores on that block, the underground connection that we saw underneath that whole area that led to Washington, D.C. places like the White House, where we know that children were being trafficked, of course, in the Sonic Lodge that was there, as well as all of the pizza parlors and other suspicious places that were right next door to another pizza parlor, right? And then, of course, Comet Ping Pong, having been inside of the White House, where you think to yourself, how does a guy who runs a pizza parlor get into the White House and play ping pong with Obama at 2 o'clock in the morning and bring young children into the White House? There were all the things with the bands that played there. I mean, most of you probably don't remember the videos again are available on the website, but it was a massive diversion, everything with Epstein from Pizzagate. Now, some people out there are saying that this guy was trying to expose what was really going on. There's interviews with him talking about Lockheed Martin, about building underground bunkers. But if you look at the character that this guy's playing, he plays a very goofy, like I said, Weird Al type of character, where, you just look at him and obviously your first instinct is going to be like he's a knucklehead type of character, right? A weirdo type of character. So when those types of characters start talking about conspiracies like Lockheed Martin and what the government's really doing with technology, it obviously is going to make the majority of people out there dismiss it because they're going to say, well, look who it's coming from. This guy's got a mullet down to his knees, right? It discredits a lot of the stuff. So I do not believe that this guy was revealing things, but it could very well be the case. He likely, like I said, did not do what he was told to do. And of course, what ends up happening is these people are usually ritually sacrificed or just they fake their deaths. But you have to remember when they do fake a death, there has to be something bigger behind it, where you see a character exiting a stage and a reaction is caused. This guy is not really very popular or well known. It's not like they're saying don't fly helicopters anymore. It's an easy way to obviously off somebody when you have helicopters crashing into each other. But this is what I want to get into with the Pizzagate stuff, right? So you can see here some imagery of him laying on the floor dead, one arm up, one arm down. Again, that's the Baphomet, as above, so below, with all of the pizza slices laying next to him in the empty boxes of pizza. There's even an image of him laying down on the ground with his arms out with the all-seeing eye symbolism, again with the glasses that we've seen over and over again. And when I talk about him laying on the ground and you see his arms, one arm up, one below, don't forget with the Baphomet, Comet Ping Pong, again, the pizza place where all this stuff was exposed, where now people think of pizza and see celebrities with pizza and they think of Pizzagate, that the Comet Ping Pong logo had the crescent moon and the pentagram, just like the Baphomet, the crescent moon, right, on the sides, at the top left, the bottom right. And notice the arms, as above, so below, and the pentagram right on the forehead of the Baphomet who they worship. So there's this video that I want to play for you from Oliver Tree, okay? It's called Mr. Pizza. It's very strange, right? And when you're a character like Oliver Tree, you're going to be able to get away with stuff like this because everybody just thinks he's an artist. This is what they hype on, right? He's an artist, they're weird, they're strange, you don't understand what they're doing, they're being goofy, but they're revealing truth to you in plain sight, which is part of universal law. They reveal who they are and what these people really are involved in, right? So I'm going to play you these clips. Look at some of these screenshots and show you. Never be with Mr. Pizza alone, right? Mr. Pizza here, standing there next to him, and then Mr. Pizza being under arrest. He says, Mr. Pizza, you're under arrest for giving candy to a young child. They show Mr. Pizza being arrested. They even have sexual kind of undertones where he's holding a banana poking at Mr. Pizza. Of course, that's a reference to a penis, okay? A phallus, which again, we know that the occult is obsessed with phallus and phallus worship, which is what all of these obelisks, like the one in Washington, D.C. that you see all around the world, they represent Baal's shaft. But let me play for you these clips now. Keep in mind all the stuff I mentioned with Pizzagate, because it'll make more sense about what's being revealed here, right? The pizza man is going after your children, and they're saying, no, don't go with him. They're going to arrest the pizza man. Then what happens? They arrest the pizza man. But the judge, who's in on it as well, because we know that the courts are all run by the same people, it says it in their books, the Talmud, the Zohar, etc., that they're above the law, that they run and control the court system, that they'll never actually be found guilty. And again, when they have characters like Jeffrey Epstein presented to you as being guilty, they don't really go to jail, they don't get off in jail, they go to a place called Israel, they go to Tel Aviv, and they put on a mask and they get plastic surgery, etc., and you never hear from them again. But look at this bizarre video, and you can't tell me that this isn't all coding about pizza, pedophilia, and how these people get away with these crimes.
Identificar a Mr. Pizza. Si un adulto te dice, esto es nuestro secreto, no le digas a tus padres, eres una vil verdad.
Eso suena a Mr. Pizza.
O si Mr. Pizza te ofrece dulces, tarjetas de Roblox, o si un adulto te invita a su casa, nunca estés a solas con Mr. Pizza.
Hey there. Hey, little girl.
Oh no. Policía.
What do you want me to go?
Mr. Pizza le está dando dulces. A mi amiga Katie.
Pizza? What kind of pizza?
¿Qué?
Pineapple? Margarita?
No.
Broccoli, jalapeno, pepper, anchovy deluxe?
¿Eso existe?
Oh yeah, you gotta try it. Pepperoni?
Sí.
What kind of pizza? Mr. Pizza, you're under arrest for giving candy to kids. Come on, kid. Get away. Oh, he's not going to jail. Judge Pizza's never put one of his own behind bars. He's innocent. What? He's innocent. Oh no.
So again, the judge says innocent. Mr. Pizza will never be arrested. So some people saw this video and said, well, maybe he was actually going to reveal the truth, and there could be truth to that as well. Maybe he was revealing too much in some of these videos that he's putting out. We can all look at it and say, but who is he? Why does it matter? But he does have a large following out there. He does have millions and millions of people who do follow his Instagram account. We might all look at it and say, who is following this guy? But the truth is in the numbers for some of these characters that are out there. Maybe he was revealing a little bit too much in this pizza video, in showing himself on the floor dead. Now again, we see the all-seeing eye symbolism, which tells us, of course, that he's in the club. And we all know that he's in the club because they're all in the club. Now, you can become popular on YouTube, like my channel became popular on YouTube. Other people have become popular on YouTube. But we know that to be in the club, to be allowed to do the things that you're doing, okay, you're going to become very, very popular, like someone like him, not just minimally popular. And you're going to build a large following. If you are in the club, they will allow that. In fact, they will promote you. And of course, when we see them dating other celebrities, that's just a telltale sign because we know that these celebrities are all part of the same bloodlines. They're all related to each other. And conveniently, Oliver Tree's ex was Melanie Martinez, who you might say, I have no idea who this is. But I've actually done videos years and years ago when I first started, when I was breaking down music video after music video after music video, when they're in the trending section, which no longer exists on YouTube, which might be because of someone like me. Well, obviously, I'm not important enough to get rid of the trending section. But I would go through the trending section almost daily, and I would see, what are they pushing to kids? What are they pushing to people out there? What are they mind controlling them with? We would see some of the ridiculous challenges and stupid things they would get people to do, which were really rituals in disguise, like I covered, like the ice bucket challenge and stuff like that. And then we'd see all the music videos of these singers we never heard of, like Melanie Martinez, and the videos would be filled with things like demonic possession, ritual sacrifice, and we'd see the all-seeing eye stuff. So I covered Melanie Martinez, who clearly you could see here with the black and white hair, the Masonic hair, which we've seen Sia do as well, and these wonderful photos of them together when they dated. Here they are laying in a casket.